watch a hornets dance. Snapback caps, pep rallies, ready. Spirits never lack. Thoughts and pride with style in the swag sack. In the quad, we ain't never gonna stop. In the quad, we always on top. In the quad, feel the music drop. In the quad, roots run deep.
What's going on, HBCU family? It is Wednesday, January 8th, and you are locked into a brand new episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. I am your host, Nick Eden, and we are back with another phenomenal show. So, as we continue on our everlasting battle with fuzzy internet, y'all just going to rock with it for a minute. Plus, let me go ahead and say this to one of the founders of Urban Edge Network. I don't know if he's watching because there are some things going on today that I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So Monday I had the show, and the tech issues were off the chain, right? Like the tech issues were completely insane. I'm trying to look at it now on my phone to see how bad it is. It's nowhere near as bad as it was on Monday. Of all days, that's the day that one of our founders and the chief revenue officer of Urban Edge Network, I get on the phone with him afterwards, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was watching the show with our Microsoft partner." Of all days, that's the day he's like, "Yeah, I'm watching it with him." But some good came out of it. They were like, "Well, maybe it's some tech stuff that we could send." Hey. Send it on. I am a tech junkie, so send it, please send it. Anyway, y'all, welcome to In the Quad with Nick Eden, the show where we cover all the trending topics across the HBCU landscape. That's Twitter/X, Instagram, Facebook, Fizz, Fanbase, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it, we're talking about it. And we take those topics and we make two parts of the show. The first part of the show is condensed down into four main topics. The second part of the show, which as you all know by now, I don't know why I keep saying this, but it's my favorite part of the show, and that is the fam topics. This is the portion of the show where you, the writer, the fan, gets to write in your questions or comments, and if they're appropriate, we will read them. And if you'd like to get your topics on fam topics, it's real simple. Go right here to my socials, at Nick Eden on Twitter, at Nick Eden on IG, at Nick Eden on Fanbase. Click the link tree in the bio. You can submit your question or comment anonymously. And I will say that it's a couple today that in a general sense I might not address, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and address it. It is what it is, but we'll get to that in the second part of the show. Excuse me. All right, let's go ahead and get right into our main topics. And our first main topic comes to us from my good friends over at HBCU Game Day. And y'all, I will absolutely continue to push the stories that come out of HBCU Game Day because they are really staying on the pulse of a lot of things that are going on. But hey, HBCU Hoops coach retires mid-season after 20 years at the school. This is courtesy of Savannah State Athletics. Savannah State head men's basketball coach Horace Broadnax announced his retirement on Monday, January 6th. Assistant coach Cleveland Thompson will assume the interim head coach role effective immediately. We thank Coach Broadnax for his leadership of the men's basketball program here at Savannah State, remarked Director of Athletics Opio Mashariki. Good God. I have immense respect and gratitude for everything Coach Broadnax has done. I would congratulate him on his retirement and wish him nothing but the best in his future endeavors. Broadnax spent 20 seasons at Savannah State after being named the program's 11th head coach in history on April 11, 2005, and spearheaded 3 HBCU championships during his tenure. Under Broadnax's leadership, the Tigers achieved significant success. The 2011-2012 season saw the Tigers win their first ever MEAC regular season championship with a 14-2 conference win, earning the berth in the National Invitational Tournament. The Tigers repeated this achievement in 2018, securing their second MEAC regular season championship. Broadnax also led SSU to appearances in the collegeinsider.com tournament in 2013 and 2016, In 2022, Savannah State claimed the SIAC men's basketball tournament title, which earned them an automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. So, just want to say really quickly, salute to Coach Broadnex. Salute for an amazing 20-year career. Enjoy your retirement. Mid-season, hey, listen. When it's time, it's time. I ain't gonna hold y'all. When it's time, it is absolutely time. And I guess in that instance, it was time for him to, time to make that transition. I'm not mad at it. You never know when it's your time, it's your time. And for him, that was it. Speaking of, so I will say this. If I'm not mistaken, Coach Bardex is on Twitter. If he is, please send him a well wishes, send him a shout out. 20 years in the program. I talked about this the other day where you just don't have long-term coaches like that anymore. So to have someone that dedicated 20 years to Savannah State, that is absolutely amazing. So we want to wish him all the best in that. Now, speaking of head coaches, let's go ahead and get right into our next main topic. And our next main topic comes to us. We're going to stay right here at HBCU Game Day. HBCU squad brings in former OC to take over program. Now, I reported this last week about the coaching situation at Shaw University. Shaw University, HBCU located in downtown Raleigh, has announced the appointment of Lamar Meningo. I hope that's right. As a new head football coach of the Shaw Bears, with a proven track record of success and dedication to student-athlete development both on and off the field, Coach Meningo brings a wealth of experience and leadership to the program. His announcement comes less than a week after Shaw's original coach choice, Gregory Ruffin, had to decline due to health reasons. Meningo returns to Shaw University, where he previously served as offensive coordinator from 2016 to 2021, leading the Bears to some of their best offensive statistical seasons in program history. More recently, Meningo served as the assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterbacks coach at Virginia State, where he played an integral role in the Trojans' resurgence as a CIAA and HBCU powerhouse, most recently appearing in the 2024 CIAA championship game. Known for his innovative offensive strategies and ability to inspire his players, Meningo is widely regarded as one of the brightest minds in college football coaching today. We're happy to welcome Coach Lamar Meningo back to Shaw University, said George Knox. Director of Athletics, his passion for the game, dedication to mentoring student athletes, and commitment to excellence align perfectly with our vision for the football program. We're confident that he will lead the Bears to new heights. I got to be honest with y'all. I don't know that he was originally available. I don't know the back end of this. But and this is no shot at Coach. This shot at no. I cannot talk today. What is going on with me? This is no shot at Coach Ruffin. No, I got a lot of love, Coach Ruffin, for his time and everything he did at Alabama State. But Coach Meningo was the right choice from the beginning. So I don't know if it was a situation where maybe he didn't want the position or he wasn't available or saw that this was available and somebody reached out. I don't know. What I do know is this was the right decision. You got a homegrown guy that's coming back. And listen, I saw some of the rumblings on Twitter. Let me explain something to y'all. Everybody is not going to get a celebrity hire coach. I get what Scotty says. I get what Zoe says. I get what people are saying about the celebrity hire coaches. But it is not going to be, listen, and I say this taking no shot, and I mean this, no shot at all against Shaw University. If you've ever been to Raleigh and you've seen, I've talked about this extensively, there are two HBCUs in Raleigh, North Carolina, Shaw University and St. Augustine's University. If y'all have been watching the show, y'all know I've been covering them for a long time, probably since the beginning of the show. You cannot bring a celebrity coach to Shaw. A celebrity coach is not going to work everywhere. It's just not. And it's not going to work at Shaw. Would it have possibly gotten the city off of Shaw's back because they want that property? No, it wouldn't. And the reason it wouldn't is because, again, if you've been to Raleigh and you've seen that real estate, Downtown Raleigh wants that. Now, whether they want it for a hospital, whether they want it to expand North Carolina State, whether they want it as a parking lot, they want that it's prime downtown real estate. And they want it. And I don't know how long they're going to be able to put up that fight. I ain't going to hold you. But what I do know is bringing in a coach, a proven coach, he did a phenomenal job at Virginia State. Bringing in a proven coach that's a homegrown guy is somebody that can truly turn that program around. You saw what he was able to do at Virginia State. And I think it's going to work out well for them. He knows the school. He knows the circumstances around the school. With a school like Shaw University, you need to bring somebody in that A, has a connection to the school, B, knows the current circumstances of the school, so they're not in there surprised. Because I'm telling you, you get somebody like Ed Reed at Shaw, and next thing you know, he's going to be on Instagram Live talking all kind of crap. Now, don't get me wrong. The campus is not like dilapidated or anything like that. It's just, again, it's an enclosed campus by downtown Raleigh. It is, it's not a celebrity coach. Just ain't going to work. I don't know any other way to say it. So shout out to Coach Meningo. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job at Shaw. I think he's going to help turn the program around. And hopefully he can bring in some good athletes. I don't know what kind of lateral move. I don't know that somebody will be willing to leave Virginia State to come to, because he wasn't the head coach, right? So I don't know if anybody will be willing to leave Virginia State to come to Shaw. But I'm pretty sure at the very least, with all the people who are still kind of trapped in the transfer portal, he'll be able to do some good recruiting there. I think he'll be able to do some good JUCO recruiting, some high school recruiting, but to give himself a decent shot at Shaw having a pretty good season next year. So shout out to Coach Meningo, shout out to Coach Ruffin. Wishing both of them the best on the things that they handle next. Y'all, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the state of Tennessee owes Tennessee State $2.1 billion. And while they're sitting there telling them, oh, we recommend that you close, the federal government is like, hey, no, why don't you pay them the money that you owe them? If you pay them the money that you owe them, then they wouldn't have to close. So we're going to talk about that when we get back. It's In the Quad with Nick Eden.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
I got you something.
We said no gift.
We had to get you something.
Thank you, honey.
I got you this.
Did you do this yourself?
Yeah, I had a great teacher.
Happy birthday.
I love you.
I love you too.
Love you. Thank you.
This is from me to you.
I am genius.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it
So I
yourself.
trust everyone's read the prospectus. Lance? Why don't you take us through it?
Let's get into the prospectus.
Okay.
I am genius.
All right, y'all, 16 minutes past the hour. You are locked into a brand new episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. Scotty, I'm going to kick your ass. You keep going live every time I do a show. You know what time my show is during the day. I'm about sick of your ass. Y'all, we are right in the middle of our main topics. And this next one is near and dear to my heart. I've been also been covering this story for a long time. And quite frankly, this is one of the main reasons elections have consequences. Let me go ahead and say that. Now, if we lose the Department of Education, I want you to know with this next story how crucial that is for those of you who are just like, no, it ain't gonna matter who you vote for. Well, let's go with this real quick. So this is coming to us from the Tennessean. The U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Department of Agriculture again urged Tennessee Governor Bill Lee to address the $2.1 billion in state underfunding to Tennessee State over the course of 30 years. The figure first released, wait, hold on, pop-ups. The figure first revealed by the departments in the September 2023 letter to Lee has driven heated discussions among state and university leaders, along with advocates for the HBCU and land grant institution in Nashville. A new letter sent Tuesday, obtained by the Tennessean, comes as TSU is under new leadership after a year of upheaval and deep financial struggles. Dwayne Tucker, longtime business and education leader who previously sat on TSU board, talked about when he was made interim president, was named as TSU's interim president in December and said he plans to stabilize the university's finances while also addressing the historic underfunding. The letter said the unbalanced funding put the institution in jeopardy during times of economic uncertainty and does not match the same level of state funding for the University of Tennessee, the state's other land grant institution. We've seen that in Mississippi. We've seen that in Alabama. We've seen that in Louisiana. Anyway, the Biden administration says Tennessee State University has been underfunded. Here's what that means. As you explore ways to address the funding imbalance, we strongly recommend establishing a state-level bipartisan joint legislative committee to gather data and conduct historical budget analysis of how the state has allocated funds. A spokesperson for Lee did not immediately respond to a request for information on Tuesday afternoon. Land grant. So for anybody who doesn't know, land grant institutions established under the Morrill Act of 1862 gave federal land to states which they could sell to fund universities with an emphasis on agricultural and mechanical arts. Many of those schools, including UT, did not initially admit Black students. A second Morrill Act in 1890 required states either end racial discrimination at their land grant schools or create separate schools for Black students, and that is how Tennessee State was established. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's pretty simple. They have not fairly and evenly distributed the money as they were supposed to do based on the 1862 and 1890 acts, right? So Tennessee State is created. Tennessee State is the only public HBCU in the state of Tennessee. Very similar to FAMU, the only public HBCU in the state of Florida, also a land grant university. This is something we've seen time and time again. Again, we've seen in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, you name it. You name it, where there's a land grant HBCU, you name it, that's the truth of it. My concern is this, and I'm hoping the best for Tennessee State in this. I really am. Especially, and yeah, that's a personal bias because I got a niece there right now. I am hoping for the best in them in this. With interim President Tucker, I think that you got a guy there that can raise money. Like I said, he's formerly of the TSU Foundation. He was over the finance committee. He is the CEO of Lead Charter Schools, which is a charter school system in Nashville. The man knows how to raise money. The man knows how to raise money. There's just no way around that. That being said, you're still running into a situation where he was appointed by Bill Lee. And my question is, how hard is he going to go at securing his money? Because make no mistake about it, they didn't start coming for Tennessee State. They didn't start the audit on Tennessee State until that letter in 23 came out. That letter that came from the Biden administration say, hey, you owe them $2 billion. You need to pay them their money. That started a shitstorm. Excuse my language, but that started a shitstorm that led to the gutting of the board of trustees. Dr. Glover retiring. Now, I'm not defending some of the things because, again, I've said on the show before, I think personally Dr. Glover, amazing person. I do. I have no experience with Dr. Glover as her tenure as president of Tennessee State. Let me just say that. But I do know people who have. And they said that there was a lot to be desired. But that ain't got nothing to do with the $2.1 billion that's owed. It's something to think about. So, again, where does this leave them? We don't know. They have recommended that Tennessee State close its doors, which is insane to me. It's insane to me. But we shall see. So I'm hoping that interim President Tucker can hold their feet to the fire. I'm hoping that they come out of this. And come on, y'all. We know what this is, man. As long as that state is controlled by a majority Republican administration, Tennessee State is not going to get the money that they need, that they're owed. Damn, that they need. They're not going to get the money that they're owed. We know that to be an actual fact. But again, wishing all the best on that. But I would like to know what you all think. So hit me up on Twitter at Nick Eden. Let me know your thoughts. Y'all, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all saw the post on Twitter. Mississippi Valley is almost at that goal. They are almost at their goal. And like I told y'all a week and a half ago, MAGA was going to have a lot to do with it. It's in the quad with Nick Eden.
Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18 when you switch to TurboTax Do It Yourself.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with Hope.
So I trust everyone's read the prospectus.
Mm-hmm.
Lance? Why don't you take us through it?
Let's get into the prospectus.
Okay.
I am genius.
All right, y'all, 26 minutes after the hour, you are locked into In the Quad with Nick Eden. We are right in the middle of our main topics. And this next main topic comes to us from my good friends of the show over at HBCU Sports. And it's the one that's our main topic. This is the main topic of the day. HBCU band near donation goal to perform at Trump inauguration. How much they raised. All right. Mississippi Valley State Marching Band is nearing the finish line and achieving its financial travel goal to perform in Washington, D.C. The Mean Green Marching Machine was invited weeks ago to perform at the parade ahead of Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th. This is not just a moment of pride for our university, but for the entire state of Mississippi, said Dr. Gerald Briggs, MVSU president, in a statement. It's an opportunity to showcase our legacy, to celebrate our culture, and invest in the future leaders of our community. This participation allows students to engage in a peaceful transition of power and gain global exposure while celebrating the university's 75th anniversary. The total cost of this historic trip, including travel, accommodations, meals, and equipment, was approximately $350,000, the school said. However, despite facing online criticism for its decision to play at the inauguration, The band has received $266,282 as part of a GoFundMe crowdfunding effort as of Monday. I want to see where we are with that. So as soon as we get through reading this, I'll share screen and we'll see where it currently is. Although I don't agree with the politics, I support Valley's mission, wrote donor Marvin Lewis. Thanks for giving me an amazing upward down experience back in the early 80s. Said donor Tanner White, no matter the politics, no matter the reason, people have to hate. True American citizens know the importance of unity and sticking together. This is an amazing opportunity for these young adults to show up and show off. Go Mean Green. The band has previously performed at NBA games, Rose Bowl parade, Mardi Gras parades, national show band battle of the bands, and other notable band competitions. All right. Now let's see. Yeah, that was okay. So that was as of print time Monday. Let's I'm gonna share my screen. And let's see what we got going on now. Don't show this daggone tips. Goodness gracious. All right. Okay. Yeah. Main agreements. Okay. So currently, so what they did was initially they had to go for $350. The first 24 hours they raised $40. Then they dropped the goal down. I think they dropped it to 40,000. The story picked up steam. People started voting. And so what's happened is every time since then, when they get to the goal, they raise it. So now they're sitting at 300,000. They're at $278,213. Let me do some math real quick. That was Monday. Today is Wednesday. So we'll just say press time was early morning. So let's say that's all right. 18,213 divided by 3. So based on this number today, they're averaging about $6,000, $6,071 a day. Obviously, they'll need it before the 20th, so let's give them 10 more days on that, right? To at least meet it by the 18th. That'd be another 60K, which would be plus 278, 213. If they continue on this track, they are going to hit 338,000. If they continue this average, they're going to hit $338,923 by the 18th, which will be a few thousand, a little over 10,000 under their initial goal. But at that point, the hell, they ain't gonna get the money back. So they're gonna have to go. They're gonna have to make something happen. That's it, pep band. I've talked about this before that Dr. Bonds was band director. As you can see right now, Dr. Bonds organizing this fundraiser. He was band director at Talladega when they marched during Trump's inauguration back in 2017. I just want to see what some of these things. So they've had 5,767 individual donations. Top donations, anonymous, John Houston, MAGA. Okay. Let's do a little digging here. I want to see. Let's see. Absolutely American. I want to know who this is. Let's find out who these folk are. Absolutely American Inc. I don't know if y'all can see this. Based in Pennsylvania, Duncansville, Pennsylvania. I was there during the election. I am not. I'm going to do some digging on these folks. But, I mean, let's be real. Absolutely Americans definitely, it's giving MAGA. Like, it is. It's giving MAGA. All right, let's see who else. Let's see, because I know y'all can't see this. I want to see if there are any other organizations Black Oak Baptist Church, John Anderson, pastor. This was less than 24 hours ago. Okay, pastor. Black Oak is, where is this joint? Oh, they're in Mississippi. Okay. That ain't all the donors. Shoot. I'm trying to find out where these folks coming from. All right. I'm done. All right, I'm done. Let me stop being messy. Let me stop being messy. All right, let's see. On the pocket. Listen, this is something that Bonds does. This is just his thing. And it's like I said before. What's going to happen is there's going to be the backlash. There's going to be the supporters. It is what it is. I think as an institution, Valley has enough credibility with us and enough time with us to where I don't think that we will just completely do away with Valley and not do that. But I wonder if they can survive the backlash. They are a lot more high profile. According to marching band, and they're a lot more high profile than Talladega was. Talladega does not have a football program anymore, but they still have a marching band, right? But I gotta be honest, I have not seen a ton of stuff coming from Talladega since that, and I could be wrong. If there are any Tornado alums out there, please correct me in the comments, in Fam Topics, on Twitter. I'd love to hear the things that the Tornadoes got going on, but I don't see it right now. But this is a Bonds thing. Dr. Bonds does this. And my question is, when he leaves, as he has a pattern of doing, what's going to be the next school? And what's going to be the repercussions, the long-term repercussions on Mississippi Valley after that? Now, I've said this time and time again. Valley is in a position that they're doing what they got to do right now. Again, everybody who was on Mississippi's Trump leadership team was an elected official in the state of Mississippi, including the current governor, Tate Reeves, who is a hardcore Trumper. And in a situation where I'm pretty sure the thought process is, I have got to make sure that this university is here 4 years from now. So I can't necessarily get mad at somebody for doing what they got to do. I can't. But again, those of us who are familiar with Bonds, we are not surprised. Yeah, I'm going to get the whole list. Liv, I'm getting the whole list. I'm going to do some digging. Come on, y'all. Absolutely American Inc. Bruh, come on. Hold on. Let me just pull this joint up real quick. Let me just pull it up real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Where is it? Which page is it? There we go. Y'all, look at this page. And you tell me. Absolutely American Inc. This is, listen. This is MAGA if I've ever seen MAGA in my life. All right, what we got in the comments? Let's see. The question is, the Talladega marching in his last parade really raised their profile. I know that they laid off staff and cut athletics. So here's the deal. In fairness, they cut athletics. Earlier. They cut athletics earlier. By the time that they marched in that parade, Talladega was without their football program as it was, right? So the marching Tornadoes, that's a good question. That is a good question. Because I would tend to believe if the profile of Talladega's marching band raised their profile enough, then why did Bonds leave? Now, I understand probably more than anybody. It is a revolving door when it comes to a lot of marching band directors. You're not going to have, like Dr. Oliver has been at Alabama State literally since my sophomore year. No, my junior year. He got there in 2000 because it was when I got there, when I marched in 98, it was Dr. Bray. Then after Bray left, it was Mr. Chapman. And then after Chap left, it was O. And he has been there since 2000. So that I'm 44 years old and he's literally been there since my junior year of college. Or second sophomore year, depending on who you ask. But, you know, you don't, so you have those kinds of examples of people who are there and have been there long term. But yeah, the band grew, but yes, the growth. Now, here's the deal. I want you to think about that. This is and I'm so glad. Shout out to you, Black Cloud. I'm going to come back to your comment in a second. I do want to read this other comment from Anthony Turner. I don't like it, but I can't get mad at them for doing what they do to go for fun. It's just my opinion. Anthony, I 100% agree with you. Here's the question now. What happens on the next Giving Day? What happens on the next Founders Day? Because if I'm not mistaken, on their last Founders Day, when they were trying to raise money for the institution, it was just under $100,000, and I think I'm stretching to get it to just under $100,000. So let's be honest. A lot of this has been because the story has gone viral. The story has gone viral. I've seen it all over Facebook. I've seen all the because again, I told y'all before, like when I was talking about t-shirts and things, conservatives, they make their voice known with their money. They do. And that just is what it is. Like it, love it, hate it, they make it known with their money. But what happens after the parade is over? Because if you can raise, think about this, that GoFundMe was started on December 26th. And as of January 8th, they've raised $276,000, almost $277,000. And they couldn't do that in the same amount of time for Founders Day. So is MAGA going to be around then? I'm just asking. Now, I want to go back to Black Pilot 04's comment. I know that the band grew. I believe his growth was unsustainable, and Bonds was told he'd have to make cuts to continue. Okay, you're 100% right. Guess where that also happened? It's happening at Mississippi Valley State. The band is double the size that it was before Bonds got there. So you got the growth. Again, it's almost a mirror image. The band does not have a budget like that. They don't have a budget. Are they going to be able to sustain that? How many scholarships are within those 200 plus students that they got now? Mississippi Valley State has seen an exponential growth in their band program. They have. That's the truth. But is it sustainable? Or are we seeing Talladega Part 2? Because the difference is now you have the demands that you have to meet when it comes to the football team. Talladega is private. Valley is public. Valley's endowed. Okay, let's be real. Valley they have an endowment of $3.5 million. Let's put that into perspective. Alabama State's endowment, and I'm only saying Alabama State because I know it, is $160 million. Alabama State and Valley are in the exact same conference in Twin States. They're both Division I teams. That's my thing about it. I'm not mad at them for doing what they need to do to make it happen. I'm not mad. My question is, the next time somebody drops Giving Day, the next time somebody says it's Founders Day, The next time somebody says, hey, we need money for more scholarships, the next time it says we need money for athletics, are those voters going to keep the same energy? Those MAGA voters who are supporting this, and the people who are not MAGA, because it's not just MAGA folks that are on there, are they going to keep the same energy? See, the thing is, when you're donating to prove a point, then you're coming up on a situation where it's like, well, what's the long-term solution? Are you going to be a long-term donor? Is your payment going to be recurring? Now, this is obviously on GoFundMe. It's different when you go to the school stuff. And I'll also say this. I'll say that for another show because I got a surprise coming in 2025. I'll say that for another show. Anyway, so listen, I am not a person who is against Valley. I'm not a person that's against Valley. I'm not even against them in this. My high school band, y'all know I'm from Mississippi. I graduated from Gulfport High. My high school band, 2 years before I got there, got the opportunity to go and no, it was before then. It was definitely 2 years because my sister was in the band at the time and they got the opportunity to go and they played for President Clinton. There were some people who were in the band who were from conservative families that absolutely didn't like it. I didn't particularly like it 3 years ago when it was during the election, so it was 4. When Mike Pence came down to the Mississippi Gulf Coast and the high school band went and performed at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. My daughter was in the band. She did not want to do it. Many of the students did not want to do it. So I get it. Bands generally have to do things that they may not like sometimes in order to, get the things that they need. But the reality is they got to do what they got to do. They got to do what they got to do. Valley may never reach that number again. Sad, but that's on the alum. Yeah. That's on the alum, but that's also on the institution. Because I'm going to say this much. I haven't seen Valley put this much excitement behind, and this is from a person who lives in the state of Mississippi, lives near a chapter of an alumni association of Valley. I ain't seen this much excitement any other time they're trying to get folks to give. So y'all put a little extra stank on it because y'all saw it go viral and y'all saw the money coming in. But hey, anyway, y'all, listen, this is a great opportunity for the students, I think. And that's what I'm focused on. I'm pretty sure y'all can tell I'm not the biggest fan of Dr. Barnes. And it has nothing to do with Mississippi Valley State. That's the God honest truth. I'm not the biggest fan of Dr. Barnes. I do think that this will come. But I also recognize history. And shout out to Danny D. Glover for pointing out. Every Republican administration, going back to Reagan, has had an HBCU band march in the inauguration parade. And I get people saying Trump is different, but that's just the truth. Y'all, when we come back, we're going to be talking our fam topics. It's in the quad with Nick Eden.
So I trust everyone's read the prospectus. Mm-hmm. Lance, why don't you take us through it?
Let's get into the prospectus.
Okay.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Now this is Taxes. File free in the app by 2/18 when you switch to TurboTax Do It Yourself.
No charger?
It's a Mac. The battery lasts all day. See you next week.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
got you something.
We said no gift.
We had to get you something.
Thank you, honey.
I got you this.
Did you do this yourself?
Man, I had a great teacher.
Happy birthday.
I love you.
I love you too.
Love you. Thank you.
This is from me to you.
I am genius.
All right, y'all, 47 minutes after the hour. You are locked into In the Quad with Nick Eden. What's going on, Doc Holiday? Y'all, shout out HBCU Overdrive, another amazing podcast in the HBCU media space. Doc, I owe you a phone call, bro. I owe you a phone call, but I'm telling you, like, I have been trying to port my number over from AT&T to Verizon for the last week and a half. And I'm missing text messages. I'm missing, and I'm going to tell you, I'm missing everything. I finally got, I'm just going to start giving y'all ninjas my Google Voice number because at least I know that'll go through. But goodness gracious. But I'm telling you, if somebody were to call me right now, it would not, 50% chance it goes through. Anyway, y'all, 49 minutes after the hour, you're locked in the Quad with Nick Eden. It is time for my favorite part of the show, and that is our fam topic. Shout out to my good friend Uncle Samson right here. I'm still tripping that AI used my face as a reference for this, and that's what they came up with. That is not what I'm going to look like when I'm Uncle Samson's age, but that just is what it is. All right, let's get into these fam topics. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna come back to this one. Because it's gonna take a second to all right, yeah. So this is the one that almost didn't make it through. Y'all. So I guess you HBCU folks are gonna cry in the corner now that one of your schools is performing for my president. You rarely see me quoting Stephen A. Smith, but we don't care. Listen, clearly you have nothing better to do with your time, sir, ma'am, or non-gender conforming individual than to be on my little HBCU show with my HBCU folks. Ain't nobody crying in the corner. I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, after this election, I'm telling you, black folks have been so hands off on this. We just been like, you know what? Y'all got it. So now your president is talking about taking over Canada. Please have fun with that. Because let me go ahead and say this, not to turn this into a political part. If for whatever reason, the unlikely event that Donald Trump does actually succeed in getting Canada to be annexed into the United States will overwhelmingly vote liberal for the next 60 years. So please, I beg of you, please let him do it. I ain't going up there because it's cold. But so yeah. All right, what else we got? Are we looking at esports in the wrong way? I feel this is a little off center too. Are we looking at esports in the wrong way? I feel like with as many gamers as we have in the community, this should be a no-brainer for recruitment. Listen, I agree. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, and this is, as a person who is an education consultant, I got to be honest, I feel really unprepared for this question because none of my students have ever really been esports related. But I think on the surface, I agree. Listen, don't even get me started on them. I agree. I think in theory, I agree. Now, I would like to probably speak to someone who's in that realm more to talk about it, because I think that esports, could absolutely be a huge recruitment tool for like our community. We are gamers. We are, and I'm not a gamer per se. I don't game like that unless you're talking about like archery challenge on my phone or a royal match. But you know, there are a lot of people who game. Like my nephew, my nephew just for Christmas, my sister and my brother-in-law, they gave him the money so he saved some money so he could do his first real build out. Like he is a tried and true gamer. And I think a robust esports program. But my thing is, I don't know if esports and gaming is necessarily the same thing in the same way. Like, I think probably a person that can speak on that, and I'll just ask him on Twitter, is Dave. Dave from HBCU Nightly and MD, A&T alum. He's heavy in the gaming space. So I wonder what the correlation between gaming and esports will really be like. I know that was one of the big concentration that Dr. Kevin James had on the resurgence of Morris Brown, in addition to their hospitality program, and it's really helped to aid their success in it. So yeah, I get it. I think you tap into a different audience, a different fan base, which I'm not mad at, right? Like in my mind, what I'm imagining is, let's say that Morris Brown, let's say they cut a deal with HBCU Plus, with Urban Edge Network, and they've got a streaming channel on there that's all about esports. I know that millions of people tune into YouTube every day, all day, and watch people game. They tune into Twitch and they watch people game. So I don't know the correlation between the two, but I would tend to agree. I do think it's worth. I would reach out to. I'm actually follow up on this. So I'm going to reach out to Dave today, and maybe he'll answer on Twitter or, I know they got MD coming up tomorrow, so maybe he can address it there. But yeah, I think it can work. I think it could be great. All right. What else we got? All right, so I wanted to bring this back up because I know it's going to take up the rest of the show. A fourth fam topic I'll push to tomorrow. Saw one of your Facebook posts about degree hacking and wanted to know why you don't recommend it for high school seniors. Seems like it helped the cost of college come down. So yes, and I'll be honest with y'all. This probably makes me a little bit of a hypocrite, right? Because I help adults when it comes to degree, and I don't even like the term degree hacking. That's a term that has come up by our non-melanated cousins. It's really degree unlocking, right? It's college unlocking. You're unlocking these and utilizing these partnerships like CLEP exams, like Sophia.org, like study.com, DSST, and different credit alternatives to accelerate college, bring your costs down, and then transferring those into transfer-friendly colleges that you can finish pretty quickly. So, I mean, we got 5 minutes left, so I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of that for anybody who's looking at me like I got 3 heads. Degree hacking. So when I tell somebody, when I sit down with an adult and I tell them I can take them from 0 credits to a bachelor's degree in less than 5 months, they look at me like I'm crazy. I just explained this, like 2 weeks ago, I explained this to Erica Lee from HBCU Nightly. Completely blew her mind, right? She was like, I can't believe it. But what you do is you have these alternative credit sources. I'll take Sophia.org for example. I'm a Sophia ambassador. These are self-paced courses that you can take for college credit. So, for instance, when I first came into the ambassador program in 2023, from July of 2023, July 3rd of 2023 to July 20th of 2023, I amassed 53 college credits. These are ACE credits, the American Council on Education. Somebody was like, how in the hell did you get that many credits in that amount of time? That's almost 2 years of college. It's self-paced. And it's really designed for people who have had this type of experience before. So I'll get to that in a second. And I get really excited about this, y'all, so forgive me. I take those credits. Let's say I spent 2 months on it, and I got 90 credits, right? So then I will go to a program like the University of Maine at Presque Isle, who has a competency-based education program called the Your Pace program. I would find probably the most transfer-friendly degree program they have, which is the Bachelor of Liberal Studies. with a minor in management, transfer those 90 credits in there, and then I only have 30 credits of their residency requirement to take, but it's self-paced. They have theirs set at 8-week terms. You can take 2 courses at a time, and so I could go out and knock those two courses out and just keep adding until I get to the 10 in 1 or 2 terms, which is how I could get to from 0 to a full bachelor's degree in less than 5 months. Now, the reason I do not recommend that for somebody who's a high school senior, and I know that might sound hypocritical because I mentor high school seniors, is because, again, competency-based education is based on people who have a significant amount of work experience. For instance, one of the classes that I took at Sophia was Intro to Business. I've been in business for 23 years. I literally knocked that class out in 30 minutes because I just went straight to the end and took the test and showed that I was competent in it, right? Now, if I'm a high school senior, if I'm 17 or 18-year-old high school senior, it might take me a little longer to do that. Not to say it can't be done. I know it can be done. However, what happens when a 17, 18-year-old gets a degree in less than 6 months and they try to go out and go into the workforce? They are going to be higher at the same level as the 17, 18-year-old kid with a high school diploma because they have zero experience. They have zero connections. For me, college hacking, degree hacking is meant to help the 38 million Americans who are classified as SCNC, some college, no credential. That's no associates, no bachelors, nothing, right? But they've been in the workforce and they're looking to get a promotion, or they're looking to, go into management, whatever the case may be. But what they're missing is that degree that gives them the stamp to move forward. And I know there are some people that are probably listening to this and they're shocked and they're like, wow, that is completely antithetical to everything, the 4 or 5, 6 years I spent in undergrad. I get it. But the reality of it is it's not a diploma mill. It's competency-based education. And there are many programs that are accredited by the exact same institution that's accrediting your HBCU that approve these programs, because that's who it's designed for. And this is why most of the CBE programs in the United States require that the students be at least 20 to 25 with X amount of credits before they enroll in their CBE program. So in a long-winded way, that is what I mean why I say I don't recommend it for high school seniors, because they're not going to have, I just told my daughter this yesterday, what you do outside the classroom in college is just as important, if not more important, than what you do inside the class. And if you've not built those connections, you've not gotten those internships, you've not, built that experience, you're going to find yourself, once you graduate, that you got a piece of paper, but you got no next step because you got no experience. And that's what will happen if high school students utilize degree hacking. Now, there are some exceptions. Dorothy Jean Tillman, Dr. Dorothy Jean Tillman. She's a 17-year-old that was the first to get her PhD at 17 from Arizona State University. She was homeschooled. She took dual enrollment classes. She got her bachelor's from Excelsior College, now Excelsior University, which is one of the big 3 of college hacking. It's one of the most transfer-friendly schools in the country. And then she got her PhD from Arizona State, which has a robust online program as well. So it's possible, but it's not like she went out and got a job, and it's not like she went out and she taught anybody. She started her own nonprofit. So that's why, and again, you have the exceptions to the rules, but I generally would not recommend that for anybody. Y'all, I've gone way over, and I'm telling y'all, I could talk about this stuff all day. Thank you for this question. Listen, I want to thank everybody who took an hour out of their day to hang out with me. I didn't get to any of my announcements. It's all good, but we will be back tomorrow with another episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. I appreciate you all. I thank you all for rocking with me, and I will see you all same time tomorrow